What, Monday it is? Monday, September 28th. I'm Chris Jenkins, credential member of the media for Charlotte Vibe covering the Carolina Panthers. And you guys may only have 1 or 2 more days left with this interesting camera angle. I apologize, but if you heard, I'm in Ohio. My son had a baby, so I'm a grandfather. But I got to continue to bring you all the coverage, the latest news about the Carolina Panthers, who were victorious yesterday. Carolina Panthers got their first victory of the season against the Los Angeles Chargers in a very good game. But there was one big glaring problem for that game. Before I get into it, hey, if you're following on Facebook or Twitter, I always like to encourage you to get over to YouTube, because over there I can see your comments and I can interact with you. But if you just want to listen, stay where you are and consider hitting that like button and subscribing. But biggest problem yesterday, easy to see, Joey Sly, great job that he did, kicking 5 field goals, not missing not one. He did miss an extra point, but he made 5 straight field goals. And the reason that he had to kick those field goals was because we could not score touchdowns in the red zone. And so we have to get that corrected. Teddy Bridgewater talked about it yesterday from a passing perspective, saying that he feels they just need to understand that things happen a lot quicker in the red zone. He needs to read through his reads quicker and make decisions quicker. But Coach Rule said that after reviewing the tape, his take on the red zone was really their inability to run the ball. Could that have been mostly because Christian McCaffrey wasn't there? Quite possible. I mean, he's probably the greatest running back in the league right now. So you take him out, and that is probably where you're going to get the biggest deficit from not having Christian McCaffrey in the game. Is just how much defenses have to know where he is and react to any kind of movement that Christian did. He wasn't there yesterday, so they struggle with that. So Christian's going to be out at least 2 more weeks. This coaching staff has been doing a phenomenal job of getting this team ready and having good game plans. So I feel that they'll have that corrected this week in terms of red zone offense and getting some scores in there. So I see a few what's up. So what's up, Rodney? What's up, Michael Samuels? Yes, we did finally get that victory, right? So what is going to be the key to this Carolina Panthers continuing to win and not just having one and out going on a skid? So Coach Rule talked specifically about that today, and he stated that the keys to success, to sustaining this success for his coaching staff and his players, but it starts with his coaching staff, is to treat each game, whether you win or lose, you scrutinize each game just as closely as if you lost. Don't kind of glance over things or be forgiving on guys not doing something or another because they won the game. He said, no, we got to still approach scrutinizing the game just as if it was a loss. Be that critical. And he believes that's a big key. And he said that's already started with the coaches putting in the work today. Earlier Tuesday when he spoke with us, he did move the player meetings to later in the day just to allow those guys to continue to get back acclimated to being on East Coast time. But he said once they do get a chance to meet with the players, he's probably going to see, and he hopes to see, that they are being just as critical of themselves and their performance in that win against the Chargers as if it was a loss. And that's going to be important because they have another very good quarterback coming up this week with Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. And so we'll just have to see how that plays out. Now, something that I talked about yesterday, and I had a feeling that we would get a chance to get more information about, was the players had a chance to meet. And they did some things where they were able to bond and come together closer. So today, Coach Rule gave us a little bit more insight about exactly what happened. He said that Rasul Douglas came to him last week. You know, he's a new guy on the team, but he came to him last week. And he said, man, I play better when I know the guys that I'm playing with. I know who they are. And I don't really feel like I know these guys. He wasn't saying like everybody's mean, just I don't know them. And Rule said he thought about it, and it makes sense. You know, they have to have social distancing, 6 feet of space at all times. Everybody's wearing a mask. So they came up with this activity where players would talk in depth, or I guess as much as the player was comfortable with, about the sacrifices they've had to make to get into the NFL and sacrifices they're still making to be a pro player. And they did that a little bit on Thursday, and then they did that again Saturday. I'm assuming they did that Saturday in California, and that helped bring guys closer because now they know everybody's story. They know their why. They know what they're doing. And whenever you know a little bit more about the guy that you're playing with, that helps you play just a little bit more as a team. So that was cool that Rasul came up with that and that the coach did that. So hopefully that's just another bonding moment that continues to allow this team to gel. And when you have chemistry, it can go a long way, especially in a team sport like football, where you got 11 guys out there on the field at one time. That kind of chemistry really, really helps. Michael Shamus with a comment here: if defense can put on a performance like that every week, we will sustain winning success. So yeah, defense was definitely an improvement. And Coach Rule hinted before, and I forget which player said it exactly yesterday. I think it was Jeremy Chin, that you still got to remember, very young team, very young defense, new system, a lot of turnover. So defense is one of those things that it just takes time, takes a little bit more time for that to gel. So hopefully that was a big stepping stone, and we'll continue to see the defense improve. And looked like a little bit more blitzing. He said there was a little bit more blitzing last week versus the Chargers. And, he said, hey, the previous week versus Tampa, they were blitzing, but you got Tom Brady back there, and he's just a master at working around a blitz. But the blitzing this week versus the Chargers, just it was schematically a little different. So it may have looked like it was a lot more blitzing, but really it was more, but just not a ton more blitzing than you had last week. So a few congratulations on being a grandfather. Thank you very much. Maybe you'll post a picture. I don't know. But this week, Arizona Cardinals, they'll come to the Carolina Panthers Stadium. Hey, interested in knowing if anybody watches is going to attend the game. I know that it came out that they are going to make, I think, about 5,800 tickets available to fans to come and watch the game. Now, I'm curious to hear everybody's take on that, because on one hand, I go to think it's going to be a lot of people just excited to be in the stadium and watch some football. But on the other hand, I think that there'll be a lot of people say, I want to go, but am I really going to have the experience that's worth all the money and time to go down there? Watching a game with only 5,000 people in a 70,000 capacity stadium could be just a little like, But leave your comments below. We had a few injuries. I know Dante Jackson had an injury Sunday. We'll not get that official injury report until Wednesday when things start back. And once I do, I will let you guys know. So that'll be it for today. Thanks for tuning in. I will again see you on Wednesday. Meanwhile, subscribe, hit that like button. And if you already subscribed, hit the notifications. That way you can join me live as I continue to have further discussions about the Carolina Panthers and this 2020 season.